It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron. Alongside me is my man Marsh. Good morning, man. Happy Monday.
Hey, happy Monday to you too, Bino. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. It's good to be here with you. We got another week of SimWorld stuff to get through. It's going to be fun. Let's start it off talking about the Boston Celtics of the SWBA. They are on a hot streak here lately, Marsh, and they won their eighth in a row over the weekend after beating the Knicks.
Yeah,
Look, they're really hot right now, and is this a case of a strong team, or is it a weak Eastern Conference being why they're at the top of the conference right now?
I know this is a good basketball team. I think it's funny that the last number of years of how great the Western Conference has been that we've almost defaulted to the Eastern Conference leader being good just because the conference is bad. But this team is phenomenal, best record, or at least in pursuit of it in the SWBA. They're probably the deepest contender if you look at it. I don't think they have the best star at the top that list, but this is a good basketball team. They do a lot of great things on both ends of the floor, especially when Kristaps Porzingis is in there. There's a handful of things you could always nitpick on them. Maybe they're not as they don't have a traditional point guard or whatnot, but Jason Tatum's been elite. Jaylen Brown is a really good number two for all of his detractors and his deficiencies. He's still a really great second option. And then Derek White, Drew Holiday give them that continual perimeter presence on the defensive end. So this is a really good basketball team, and it's a team that, credit to them, has next to no drama in an Eastern Conference that just seems to be surrounded with it.
Yeah, I think that you could those who would say that yeah, it's just a matter of the East being weak because there are some injured teams over there in the East. The Sixers are dealing with injuries right now, and a few other teams obviously. But I think at this point in the season, much like football, all teams are playing hurt in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It may not be as severe as football injuries go, but you're all playing hurt in some way, shape, or form, and that doesn't outrule the fact that, like you said, this is a really good basketball team, Marsh. They're really strong. They've got a lot of pieces there. You mentioned Jaylen Brown, and the other piece you mentioned, Porzingis as well. I remember he was with the Knicks, and I wasn't sure if he was going to be uh at a elite level. If that makes sense, but he's found a good role for himself in Boston, and I think him playing against this former team definitely did give him a little bit of a oomph in that game against the Knicks. They ended up winning. They put up 120 points in that one.
Well, I mean, look, Kristaps Porzingis was an elite basketball player when he was with the Knicks. The
Yeah,
challenge that he had has always been health, and then the last season being stuck in Washington, which was, no
yeah,
direction and
yeah.
completely dysfunctional. He was really good for the Wizards. It's just that
Right.
team was awful, and there was no need for him to be great. So I think that with his time with the Wizards, and then before that with the Mavericks, we might have lost just how great he was pre ACL tear. But look, you
Right.
want to talk injuries? The big injury in the Eastern Conference is Embiid. For the
Yeah.
most part, the rest of the top teams in the Eastern Conference have been healthy, right? It's just that the Bucks have been dysfunctional. The Pacers, now that Halliburton is back, are mediocre. We don't really know what we're going to get out of them. I think there's a really high ceiling for them. Of course, the Knicks have a number of injuries as well, but it's a mixture of both injury and dysfunction, and the Celtics have navigated all that. But that does not mean that they aren't the best team if everybody was healthy, because they
Right.
still would be.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That none of what you mentioned doesn't changes the fact that this is a very good basketball team and that they are definitely gonna make some noise come playoff time. It wouldn't surprise me to see them in the finals if we get to that point, which I high key think that we'll see them in the finals. I really do. But look, let's move over here to some SimWorld League baseball talk. Cody Bellinger was a free agent for a while, and he's finally re-signed with the Cubs. It's a 3-year, $80 million contract. Uh, he sat in free agency for a little for after opting out of his contract. and now he's getting $80 million. Coming off of the season that he had, Marsh, do you think that Bellinger got underpaid in this contract?
I think for any contract, regardless of league, underpaid, overpaid is all based off what the market says. The option that you're mentioning, he declined. I think that was in the low $20 million, right, for that deal. And if my quick math does it, you're looking at a 3-year deal that's going to pay him about $26.5 million per year. So I think he got about what you'd expect, but the market kind of bears this out, and this is the challenge that SimWorld League Baseball has had for a number of seasons, where these big superstars, and I'm not saying Bellinger's one of them, but these big superstars like Mike Trout before with his massive deal with Shohei Ohtani, they command these huge numbers, and I think we kind of get lost in saying, no, that's the star power, right? We don't have you get a max contract. This is how much you make for being this talented of a guy. And I think that's kind of made this like middle tier to even upper middle tier of SimWorld League Baseball free agents and players. That market we kind of start to think of a little bit differently, and I just think it's we're skewed in the wrong direction because these big contracts are getting signed.
Yeah, and considering who his agent is, also Scott Boras, we know how he likes to operate in terms of trying to get his players most money they possibly can. But I do think that there is something you said there about that second, third tier of the elite players in SimWorld League Baseball, where you have those guys who are gonna make 25 to 30 million a season or whatever, that's still, again, really good money regardless. I don't care, what you're talking about here. But, coming off a season where he hit, he had a 307 average, 26 home runs and 97 RBIs, like he obviously wanted that mega contract. Similar to like Carlos Correa, which I imagine, which makes sense. But I don't think he got underpaid. I think he's right where he needs to be right now in terms of money and trying to get himself into a spot where he has an opt out. He has another chance to get some bigger money coming down the road. He's 28 now, so a couple years later, what's that? 31, 32. Maybe he does get a bigger contract, but that just depends on how it all goes. And I think right now he's in a good spot. The Cubs are gonna be good. I think. They'll make another decent run this season. But you gotta see how it all works out. Obviously, pending a physical for Bellinger's deal and all of that stuff. Gotta work through it. But let's get into our final topic of the show, because we have a guest joining us this morning. We have the 16-year-old number 88 ranked composite player in SimWorld Prep. He actually is coming off a Player of the Week award. It's Losi Thomas. Good morning, Losi. Good to have you here with us, young man.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, good morning. Where are you calling from? You on a break right now? What's the deal?
Well, I'm in gym class right now in the locker room, getting ready to change.
Okay, all right. I feel like we caught you at kind of a good time, perhaps. Maybe don't let the so probably of the interview catch you. But
Yep.
Well, look, let's jump right into it, shall we? So, when you found out that you won Player of the Week award, what was the reaction from your teammates, family, friends, that kind of thing? What was the reaction from the people around you?
I was actually kind of shocked. I ended up learning about the news after I woke up the next morning. After the games, that I have gotten Player of the Week. It was pretty nice to get. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect to be in this position so early in my first year.
Yeah, sure, Marsh.
Losi, I mean, you're playing 16 minutes per game, yet you're still the second leading scorer on this Beast of These team that prides itself on defense. For you, in this being your first year in SimWorld Prep, what was the biggest thing and maybe mentality that you had coming into the season, saying, I'm playing on a team that just won a championship. There's a lot of talented guys on this roster already. What was your mindset entering the season on the type of impact that you wanted to have?
The mindset I came in with was to play my role, to not just think about being the best player on the team or anything. Make sure that my guys look just as good as I do on the court, on and off.
That's smart. Yeah, that's a good attitude to have, I think. I want you though to brag a little bit with this next question, Losi, if you
All
can.
right.
What has been your personal favorite individual performance so far this season? Any moment or a game that sticks out to you?
The game that just passed against LSD,
Yep.
coming being down 22 and coming off the halftime, being able to score 8 points in the third quarter to get our team closer to the victory, and the team coming in and securing the victory in the fourth. That's probably the best one I have so far, outside of me scoring my 20+ point game early in the season.
So you guys started off a little slow, right? You had that really tough game opening night against Originators, and it seemed almost as if, not that you guys weren't going to be a good team, but there was some question marks of where you might stand in the hierarchy of the league. Now you guys have what, 12 wins? You're 1 win behind Philadelphia, who's needed to reel off 11 straight to be in first place in the league and in the division. What was that early season kind of transition like, and making the move from trying to figure out who you are to becoming a team that's really been quite dominant?
Well, I just been talking to Coach Drayton. He tell me just grind. He said the work you put in is what you want to be, is what is the outcome.
What has the
That's
team mentality been like? How did the team's mentality shift then early on in the season?
The team mentality. Well, we got our guys. They love to get in the gym. We all practice, grind separately and together. Today I was with my teammate Malachi. We went to the weight room, so we try to at least like dominate when we get on the court, because when we get in practice, we joke around a little bit and take it a little bit serious. So when we get to the game time, coach tell us, it's game time, play your game, or uh, uh, suffocate your law.
Yeah, it's when it's game time. It's time to lock in. You can joke around and practice a little bit. That kind of once it gets to game time, it's time to lock in for sure. I definitely empathize with that standpoint for sure. So my final question I have for you here, Losi. I know it's just your first season here in SimWorld Prep, but have you given any thought to SimWorld U yet? And if so, what are some things you're looking for outside of basketball, maybe that could help you make that choice in terms of what kind of school you would like to go to?
I honestly don't have an answer for that. I I actually don't have an answer for that one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Is there a school that you're looking for in particular?
Well, Syracuse. I'm a big Carmelo Anthony fan, so Syracuse is a team that I like because of him. I looked into that school growing up, around the age of like 6, 7. And I just been studying on that school a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like my favorite school to go to. And my favorite color is orange. So goes
Okay.
well.
Okay. I like that.
All right, my last question here for you, Lucy. How do you guys communicate when you guys are in the locker room? Is it a free for you mentioned you guys try to be kind of uplifting, fun. What's that communication style like, especially with the leadership of this group?
Oh, with the leadership of this group, we have the communication skills in the locker room is pretty free. Everyone gets to speak. It's no man to themselves, but we all do pay attention to what coach says. If he says stop joking around, it's time to lock in, play defense, he'll tell us what's wrong, offensively or defensively. He'll tell certain guys to lock in, especially our defensive guys, Cutley and James, to definitely put in work against the guys that are scoring on the other team.
That makes sense. That's fair. That's fair. Well, look, Losi, thank you for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your time. Hope you have a good rest of your day, young man, and we look forward to seeing you out on the court soon.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. You as well. Well, all right, everybody. That's Losi Thomas. Thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed listening and watching today for our first show of the week. We appreciate it. Look, y'all know the drill by now. hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notify bell so you know when all of our shows, videos, and streams and games go live for you all today. No games today, but tomorrow we'll have games, and we'll talk more about them later in the week. Tomorrow, obviously. But until then, you guys, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld.